Unconventionals!
This is the final video in our series from Cotacachi, Ecuador.
Before we move on to our next series from Quito, we want to share some of the awesome things about Cotacachi we think you'll love whether you're going to visit or move there.
Yep, and we'll talk about a few things that you might not like too much.
Before we get started, if you're thinking of moving to Cotacachi or somewhere else in Ecuador, we can help.
Yes, we can. We spent the last several years assembling a list of trustworthy experts who specialize in helping expats relocate to Ecuador.
If you need help with a visa, real estate, rentals, health insurance, private driver, etc., we're happy to introduce you to our network.
Just head over to liveabroadnow.com. We'll put a link to that below. Tell us a little bit about what you need and we will send an introduction email.
Now we're going to share some of the awesome things about Cotacachi that make it a great place to visit or live.
Starting with, it's very affordable.
Yes, housing is a lot less expensive compared to the coast, especially where we live in Manta.
Yeah, housing is probably your largest expense if you relocate to Ecuador or really any country. And here in Manta, especially living right on the beach, it's very expensive compared to the rest of Ecuador. That goes pretty much for all the coastal towns. If you'd like to see what some of the properties look like, we did film a real estate tour in Cotacachi. We'll put a link to that below so you can go check that out.
If you're living in Cotacachi, you don't need an air conditioner, and you probably won't even have an air conditioner, so your electric bill will be less.
Yeah, the temperatures are much cooler there. Most of the mountain towns do not have AC and do not need it. Also, food is a lot cheaper. You can buy a lot of it locally grown at the mercado to save money.
The next awesome thing about Cotacachi is that there are lots of restaurants.
Yeah, we ate at several while we were there, including Vandanam Indian restaurant because we're Indian food junkies. But we also ate at Cafe Roma, which is a really cool little Italian pizza place. We ate at a place called the Red Rabbit Lounge, which was really good. They had some nice food as well as coffee. Went there several times for cappuccinos.
Yeah, they make a mean soy latte. I think it was a latte, not a cappuccino.
Sorry.
But we could always go back and have it again and find out which one of us is correct. The nice thing is there's a wide variety of local and international cuisine. You can also get almuerzos, which is like a lunch special. And that's another great way for you to save some money.
Yeah, the lunch specials are very affordable, usually about $1.50 to $3, and it's enough food to fill you up. One of our favorite places was the Rio Intag Cafe, and that is kind of an outdoor with indoor seating coffee shop. They have juice and pastries and stuff. It's really beautiful. You have to walk up some stairs to get in there, but we just hung out there and enjoyed our coffee and looked at nature.
Yeah, it was a beautiful place. They have a big, I guess a lot with big mature trees. It's really relaxing.
We were actually really surprised how many coffee shops there are in Cotacachi. You could probably have coffee at a different place every day of the week if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could. And the nice thing is everything is in walking distance because Cotacachi is pretty small.
The next thing we think you'll love about Cotacachi is there are lots of things to do.
Yes, if you like to hike, you're going to be very happy. We went to Peguche, which is a beautiful waterfall hike, and Quicocha, which is a volcano lake. It is iconic. And we have videos on both of those. If you want to check those out, we will put links below.
Yeah, the hiking was incredible. We saw all kinds of different birds, wildflowers. The scenery is just incredible.
It is so beautiful there. So if you're into bird watching, that is a great place and a great activity. There's a lot of photography opportunities, which JP was just in heaven taking all of his pictures.
Yeah, the picture photography opportunities are unbelievable with the sun peeking down through the clouds and lighting up the tops of those volcanoes, the clouds sitting right on top of the volcanoes, and it's just unbelievable. You'll have bright flowers against a dark foliage backdrop. It's perfect for photography.
Yeah, it was I think we keep saying incredible and beautiful because it was.
Yeah, the panoramic vistas were I just couldn't believe it. We just would stop in the middle of the street and look and say, oh my God, I can't believe I'm looking at this.
I know, it was amazing. But there's also expat meetups, you can volunteer. There's also a lot of day trips you can do from Cotacachi. You can go to Ibarra, Mitad del Mundo. You can even go into Quito. It's only an hour and a half away.
Another great thing about Cotacachi is that it is very safe.
Yes, people ask us a lot if it is safe to live in Ecuador, and the answer is yes, especially in Cotacachi.
Yeah, we've felt very safe everywhere we've lived in Ecuador. We know a lot of people who've lived here for years, decades, and we know single women who've lived here by themselves for a long time. We featured a few of them in our videos before. They've love it here. They feel very safe. Ecuador, for the most part, is a very safe country as long as you avoid prisons and unsafe neighborhoods in the big cities.
Yes, like anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And we were laughing because our friend Francis with the Indian restaurant said that they roll up the sidewalks here at 8:30, and he just found that hilarious that everybody goes to bed early because he said everyone is so old.
Yeah.
But Francis is like 22, so you have to take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, he actually didn't say the roll up the sidewalks. That was me. What he said is that there is nobody out after 8:30, so all the restaurants close. So it is very quiet there. We walked around at night, felt very safe. There's a lot of local indigenous people who live there. That's who mostly lives there, along with a lot of expats. It's a very popular expat area, but it's a very, very safe town. It's not a big city, so you don't have a lot of the big city crime that you're going to see in Quito or Guayaquil.
Yep, and there are a lot of families there as well. And we saw little kids out walking by themselves, which is pretty common throughout Ecuador, actually.
Yeah, kids playing on the street by themselves like we used to when we were kids. It's so nice to see that here in Ecuador.
Another thing that you may love is that there's lots of places to shop.
Yeah, Amelia had a lot of fun window shopping and shopping in general.
I did, because there is so much to look at and to experience if you're into shopping or if you just need stuff. There is a lot of high-end textiles from local craftsmen, or you can get some really cheap stuff. I wore out my shoes, so we bought a cheap pair of replacement gym shoes for me for $15, and I'm very happy with them.
Yeah, we walked so much. We averaged like 7 or 8 miles a day while we were there, and Amelia just wore right through her shoes.
I did. There's mom and pop stores, there's organic stores, there was no shortage of chocolate.
Yeah, lots of chocolate. There's also a TIA, which is Ecuador's kind of a small express grocery store chain. There's also a full mercado with a bus station and a weekly organic market that pops up in town.
Yeah, that was a really nice thing to see too. We love our organic produce. And you're only 10 minutes away from the big market in Otavalo, and then on Saturdays they have the full-blown market, which we did not have the chance to experience, but that will be on our to-do list in the future. Another
thing that we really like is there are ATMs in Cotacachi itself. That might sound like an anticlimactic ending, but in Ecuador, a lot of the small towns don't have ATMs, so you have to go to a bigger town nearby to withdraw cash, which is difficult because this is a cash society, so you're always needing cash, and then if there's no ATM, it's kind of inconvenient. So we really appreciated that.
Cotacachi also has a large expat community.
Yeah, there are a lot of expats that live in Cotacachi. It is one of the most popular destinations for expats in Ecuador, so I guess that's not surprising.
Yeah, and they are so helpful and friendly and willing to share information.
Yeah, and because there's a lot of expats, there you also find a lot of English speakers. We were really surprised how many people spoke English there or are learning English, and they're eager to practice their English with you and help you with your Spanish.
Another awesome thing about Cotacachi is that it is not only beautiful, but it is super clean.
Yeah, people have commented on our previous videos from Cota that how clean it looks, and it really was. It wasn't like I was just avoiding the dirtiness. It was super clean. And we found that throughout Ecuador. Some places aren't so clean. There's a lot of litter in some places, but for the most part, especially in towns like Cota and other places here in Manta is also very clean. There are a lot of efforts to keep the litter off the streets.
Yes, and boy, does it show. And, well, you can't tell from our video, but the air was very, very clean. So we've always felt so refreshed.
Yeah, it was a bit dry, though, surprisingly.
Yes.
We've been living on the coast for almost 2 years now, and we forgot how dry mountain air is. And it definitely makes your nose a little crusty, but it was super clean and crisp, especially in the morning when you wake up and it's in the low 50s and it's just so clean.
And our last awesome thing about Cotacachi before we get to the cons is that it is easy to get around.
Yeah, it's a really walkable city. You can walk from one side to the other in about 10 minutes. You can get to all of those awesome restaurants and cafes that we talked about, just a short walk from most places where you're going to live in Cotacachi.
Yeah, but you can also easily take the bus or take taxis. There's plenty of taxis.
Lots of taxis, and it's only a 10-minute drive into Otavalo. It's a 30-minute drive to the Supermaxi in Ibarra, and it's only 1.5 hours from the center of town to the Quito International Airport. So we really like that it was so easy to get to the airport, and the scenery on the drive is so beautiful that the time just flies by.
And now for the cons. We have a few things that you might not like so much. And the first thing is the high elevation.
Yeah, it's at 7,900 feet. That's at 2,400 meters. And the air is very thin, and I struggled. As many of you know, I struggle with high elevation, and that elevation did not really agree with me. I had issues breathing, obviously, some of the tingles, my face was flushed. But the Maité de Coca kept me functioning. I drank a few cups of that every morning after my coffee, and that really helped. That is like a miracle elixir. It's just a tea you make. They sell it in the local stores there. You can find it pretty easily, and we drank a lot.
We did. Another con is that it is chilly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's in the mountains, so at night we were cold. We had multiple blankets on. There's no heat. That's the other thing, is that even though it gets chilly at night, most places are not heated, so you're going to need a lot of blankets, and a snuggle partner helps, especially one who has hot flashes.
Or a heater. Heaters always come in handy. We had 3 of them in our house in Cuenca. And it can also be rainy in that part of the country. So if you're not a big fan of clouds and rain, this may not be the location for you. Yeah,
it rained quite a bit while we were there. And a lot of times it was sunny in the morning, and then it would cloud up and get cool and rainy in the afternoon, which sometimes we would just go in and have lunch someplace or sit inside and have coffee while it rained, and usually did clear up. But I don't know, it rained a lot while we were there.
We were out of practice with preparing for the rain. We've been spoiled living on the coast, so we both forgot our raincoats. Can't believe we did that. Another con is that there are not any major medical services in Cotacachi.
Yeah, they do have a small private clinic, and they have a public IESS hospital. It's pretty small, though. If you need any sort of specialist attention, you're either going to have to go to Otavalo, where there's a bigger hospital, or really probably into Quito if you have really serious medical needs.
And our last con is that Cotacachi is still a small town.
Yeah, I grew up in a small town in Kansas. I'm not a huge fan. I prefer cities now. I don't know, maybe I'm alone in that, but I'm just not a big small town person. We lived in Alone for over a year. It's just a little too small for me. If you grew up or live in a small town, you know what I mean.
Now we know why expats love living in Cotacachi, Ecuador.
Yeah, we really enjoyed our time there, and we're looking forward to visiting there again. But we have a lot more of Ecuador to explore before we head back there.
We actually just finished up a week in the Quito area. We did lots of filming, and we had so much fun. We're very excited to share it with you.
Yeah, we filmed several videos, including a real estate tour in another extremely popular area with expats. You're going to love seeing the places that we filmed.
Yeah, so make sure and hit that subscribe button, because we show you what it's like to live in Ecuador.
And we tell you what to do if you decide to visit or move here.
That's all we have for this video, Unconventionals. If you liked it, leave us a thumbs up, please.
All right, guys, we hope you have an unconventional day. We will see you all in our next video from Quito.
Woo!
Ciao.
We went to Pegoche, which
Peguche.
is... Oh, darn it. We went to Peguche. Shut up. If you liked it, leave us a thumbs up, please. I said a buh. I think that's all we have for this video. If you liked it, leave us a thumbs up, please. I started laughing again.
And I can't remember what I'm supposed to say.
I know.
All right, I'm just saying unconventional day. Okay.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah.